E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
We've seen aliens in movies for decades, including the popular 1982 movie E.T., which we all love. And last week, witnesses testified on Capitol Hill talking about aliens here on Earth. So what would happen if extraterrestrial life existed for sure, that we knew it was here? I called on a few people to seriously, not jokingly, seriously weigh in on this issue. Survivalist Thomas Bills, podcaster and former Houston journalist Todd Duplantis, and pastor Dr. Ruth Olison.
One of the most important takeaways I got at the beginning was Ryan Graves, who's the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace, kind of summed up the whole hearing. He said, the American people need to know what's happening in our skies. It's long overdue. It is very long overdue. But then we hear about possible programs that the government has been involved in dealing with alleged aliens back through the 1930s. Any of us in the UFO field or that study this know that that's been suspected for quite some time. What's really happening here? There were some talks of a cover-up, and in fact, one of the congressional leaders, U.S. Representative Tim Burchett, he had talked about a cover-up right from the top. And I believe he actually said something along the lines of, the cover-up has been going on, now it's time for us to uncover this. So at least they're going somewhere with this. But if you go to what the Department of Defense is saying, they're saying nothing to see here, folks. We don't have any information on this. So they're throwing it back on these whistleblowers. So was it insightful? It was nice to see some people talking about it, but only one of them had seen something. The other two were talking about information that was given to them.
Now, that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys here. Some deep thinkers and religious influences as well. If there is life out there, if there are aliens out there, how does that affect us as a society, as humanity, individuals, many of us who believe in God? How does that impact us, Dr. Ruth?
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, looking at the human condition, I'm glad about it. I'm ready for something new. Given the way we treat each other and the way we treated the world, and especially where we are now, I am looking for something new. So,
and would you say there is room for both, being those who believe God created us, made us significant, made us important, a part of a grand plan, and then there are aliens out there? Because when we look at the Bible, you know, obviously there's no specific mention of other life other than what was created here on Earth. Is there not a conflict at all?
No, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, when you talk about heaven, for instance, there are beings in heaven and they're doing things. And I think it's the height of arrogance to think that a God as smart and creative as the one who created the earth and us stopped there. The universe is far-flung. It's amazing. And maybe we keep saying there are aliens out there. Maybe we're the aliens.
In 2014, NASA awarded a $1.1 million to the Center for Theological Inquiry, and they wanted to know how the public would react if there were aliens out there, how the religious community would act. Do you see that as a sign, Todd and Tom, as them preparing us for something?
Well, I just want to say what Dr. Ruth said hit the nail on the head. And what I've been on your show and said before, it's absolutely arrogant for us to think that we're the only intelligent life forms in this universe. You know, and if we've been dogmatic and taught from religion that there's one God, who's to say that God's not over just us here on Earth, but other living beings wherever they be, whether they be on Mars or interdimensional?
I just believe that God is so powerful that he wouldn't stop here. He would continue to make other worlds just like ours. And so who's to say that we're not the aliens, but all of those are God's creations, and I can't wait to meet them.
And Dr. Ruth, for those who are not as open-minded as you guys are here on the panel, how do you explain this to them? and get them to believe that God could create other life in other places. It's a big universe.
Well, of course, life itself is just phenomenal, the whole aspect of life. But then to look at the new discoveries of the Hubble Space Telescope and all these other discoveries that are out there, it's amazing. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. And for me, it increases my faith every time I see a new body in the sky that or in space, that God did this. Now look, we got to get a perspective. The earth is very, very important. It's our home, but it's a little dirt ball in the midst of a huge creation, and a huge God did it. And so I'm excited about it. That's how I explain it.
Well, we want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We appreciate your time. And of course, we will be looking to the sky.